it over, Jack. You're the mediator, bro.
If he would just be polite enough to pretend to be polite enough so we could have conversations, we could have completely different conversations. But before I entertain that, welcome to Freak. How are you?
Hey Jack, how are you? I'm fine. My computer's been acting up, so I'm on my tablet, and I don't know how it's going to work, but I hope it's okay.
It actually comes through all right. I noticed you were connecting and dropping, so glad to have you here.
I missed the show yesterday, but I was wondering if you saw the debate.
I didn't. I hardly saw any of it.
I skipped it too. Wasted my time.
I watched it.
Well, basically, it's the same game plan that you get with all the trolls that come up here. It's the virtue signaling of Kamala. That was the whole show. Basically, that was the whole her whole thing. And other than that, I don't think she could sell a box of Girl Scout cookies at full retail price, and that's what we're going to get for president.
Well, how do you think Trump did?
Praise God. Thank you, God, for letting us have Kamala. Man.
Yeah, she won the primary and everything.
Well, I actually, well, this is the whole part of why I'm here. I actually believe, I don't know how, but I believe we can find a way to create space for better candidates to rise. We can interrupt the games before November.
Do you think Kamala would be more willing to talk to you, Jack, than Trump? I think she might be more willing.
God's given me more signs for Trump than Harris.
Okay. I just don't think she has. She just doesn't have the status that Trump has. You got to jump through hoops. Probably. I'm gonna look into that.
Well, it doesn't have to be either of them, but both of them could be ways to accomplish. Because what I'm talking about is getting people to agree to what's true. What's true is war is evil. Slavery can end. And I'm saying wage slavery. When everyone's working for debts and focused on profits, that's slavery to the idol that the bankers created. Money's less a tool for commerce, and it's more of a rival god.
Well, I want you to think about this. Think about it this way: God made it so I'm required to eat food and breathe air to live. So God implemented slavery. Otherwise, my body dies.
I don't see the there.
If I was to be free, I wouldn't need food or air or water to live at all. So I'm slave to eating and breathing.
Well, have you looked into where that might not be true?
Yes, and it turns out it does have to be true. I can't stop breathing and live. So if I want to live, I have to breathe.
You could stop earning money and live though just fine, honestly.
Well,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's possible to stop earning money and live, but I have to still find the food.
Oh, I mean, what did we do before we invented money?
Well, we killed each other in wars to take each other's food.
No, we hunted animals.
You guys are missing the point. Because this distraction, when I said slavery can end, wage slavery can end, you brought up a disagreement.
Okay, I'll disagree with you. I'll disagree with you instead. I'll ignore the facts. I'll agree with you. Then there's nothing more to do. We don't care about the facts.
You know what's funny though is Jack is over here advocating for like the getting rid of slavery, right? And all the slaves are like, "No, I like being a slave. I like being a slave, Mr. Talcott. I love being a slave to my master. I have to go to work 5 days a week, 7 days a week. My boss tells me I can have 1 day off every once in a while. And if Christmas comes, oh boy, I might get that off once every 10 years. I love being a slave, Mr. Talcott. Go ahead.
It's unfortunate but true. People are afraid to admit they're wrong. And so they don't want to consider alternatives to what they know.
Do you think working is
That's
wrong?
you.
It sounds like you guys
Not
are saying
true,
that
man.
working is wrong to earn money. That I don't think that's. I think money's a tool that we
Right.
use.
I
And
work.
like I
It's all
think
good.
Okay, hand banana, right. Partial truth creates total confusion, and people who are confused, they'll believe in the partial. Money is a tool. I present the case money is a tool for slavery. Money is a tool for war. It's a tool for oppression, for temptation, for division, for debts. So the entire banking system, it's a fractal reserve debt-based system. The entire economic system around the world is based on debt. Debt creates slaves. Slaves become, well, here we are. It's America in the
There's,
world.
there's an issue with that. We had slaves before we invented money.
mm-hmm.
We had
According
slaves in the
to-
Soviet Union when they were against money too.
According to
History, factual accounts of history, the anthropological record.
all right. So
Hold
let's
on, I'm
connect
gonna
the
get
dots. Let's connect the dots, okay? Because disagreements can always exist. Agreements are available too, but so let's connect the dots. Today, just like you were saying, you know, the choice to live without a job, everything requires money. So therefore, money is the symbol now of everything. In the past, it was resources. Sure. Before money, maybe it was fighting for control. This is where humanity is confused.
Well, you can live on money, but you have to give up society because society as a whole chosen to use money.
Well, they chose because in 1913 in America, by the power of pen, the Federal Reserve was created. And so that's why the people chose. They were told they didn't have a choice. Just like as the voting comes, our only choices are these. No, that's not true.
Well, Ted Kaczynski chose not to use money, but he also chose to leave society. So there is a choice, but a choice isn't an easy one.
Are you confused, Jack?
What's up, Tommy? It's good to see you, brother, man. Quick
Well,
thing.
Paul's your daddy.
Your daddy too, I guess. Everybody's
No,
daddy.
Paul is your
is the
daddy. Paul is
of the
Jack's
Panda
daddy,
Boys.
and you guys
Let
are
him-
confused.
So
Yes.
OTW's down there, right?
Who's
And
Daddy Paul? Who's that guy?
Paul is OTW's
should
daddy.
Hold
come
on.
up here so we can mediate because he obviously has a problem with Moose, and just like 90% of the people out there. So if we
Paul
can
has
just
a problem with Moose?
if we could solve a problem with Moose one at a time, Jack will actually be a very successful mediator, and then we can move on. And you guys can.
I've
stop
got a
praying.
problem solver.
I got a problem with
Moose.
Moose. Can I go first? I got a big problem.
Yeah,
with
go
Moose.
for it.
Yeah,
Are
can
you
go
willing
first,
to
Hannah.
resolve it? That's the key.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Hand,
I'm actually a big
hand,
gentleman. I wanna resolve these
banana
issues.
phone.
Here, hold on. Before we jump into that, if we can, prostate. Did you join?
Prostate.
Is it
Prostate.
prostate? Okay.
I couldn't put my finger on it. Whatever.
All right, the
He likes
prostate
it
is
too.
gonna get tickled.
It's okay.
today,
He likes it.
But first,
He
him
saw
and
it last night.
Let's move through this. Let's. Where are my transgressions against you? sir? How
Money
can I fix it?
is freedom.
So that's what the owners tell the slaves.
Yeah,
That's
but
why
you
it's
say a
free.
contradiction to what you said like days ago.
No, Well,
And your
maybe.
history is also
What is-
fucked up.
What is the
And Paul's your daddy.
Well,
Damn
come
it,
on.
Tommy! I'm over
Tommy.
here trying to get mediation, and you're stealing my time to get some healing.
What do we do?
What do? You're the one that's always looking for answers. We got them. You don't want them.
That's not accurate.
Oh my God! Is Hank blind?
No.
Yeah, always has been,
Okay,
Tommy.
false alarm. False alarm. False alarm.
Jesus.
Okay.
I was like, that nigga better learn to play. He better learn to play piano. He's gonna be famous.
Hank
There
is
you
already
go.
famous.
He's on it.
No, he's
on
not.
it.
None of us are. And
Oh,
God help
he's
us if we
on
were.
it.
The next
Wow,
Ray
I love
Charles
it.
for Halloween.
Tell you what, let's try to be productive.
If I wanted to be productive, I'd have Chuck in my chat every day. I'd buy a penthouse by now.
Hallelujah, Tommy.
So you want to live in a penthouse and
What's
not
up,
live
Chuck?
above a roof?
Chuck in
Interesting.
Tennessee just entered the stream. What's
So-
going
Are
on?
there
Yeah, so I was upset because Moose got me blocked from Gen X Jeffs.
Did I really?
Oh, it's an easy thing to do. I think I've turned Gen X Jeff the most Christian he's ever been. It's crazy.
All right,
He's
so
not even
what,
a real Satanist. He just says that. He
here?
thinks-
Let
does
let
say
Moose
that.
respond, please.
so how did I get you blocked from his channel? That is probably a truthful statement, but
It was something I said, and I guess it was a microaggression towards you, and then I got blocked.
Yep.
was it directly me causing it, or do I just got to go
It
back?
was
and
well, it was something I said, and I guess you were. I don't know. Are you protected?
Leave
over
that
there or
to freak
something?
chat handy for when we
I
get there.
feel like you're not allowed to talk over there sometimes.
Okay.
That's true. But
I mean,
while
he's
Moose may have
autistic.
got you blocked, I am the entity that if I'm on his panel and he knows everything's going wrong, just as a troubleshoot, he'll just drop me first to see if that fixes it.
Well, I'll get you unblocked over there. That'll
Oh.
be my first order of business over there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Can he block
Yeah.
Zuckerberg?
Was it chat or panel?
It was a panel.
Okay, copy
I'm
that.
blocked on both now.
This panel thinks he can block me.
All right, I'll go over there and I'll tell him stop protecting me. My feelings are, I'm a little.
But you
sensitive
need
every once in a while.
protected, Moose. You need protected until you wisen up to stand on your own. I don't know if
It
you'll
is
ever have.
true.
Give him the
I mean,
credit.
our species is
wise
already
up.
pathetic because a baby drops out of us and it still takes you got to carry it and feed it for 4 or 5 years. Then you don't even let your eyes off of it. How do we ever survive without
Dude,
God?
it's a freaking magical process, Tommy. Don't even try to act like it's not. Okay, I enjoy it every moment, even when I'm.
It's
pulling my hair
magical
out,
that we're
growing
one of the
hairs.
only species that can't drop out of our mother and immediately evade predators. That's magical to you.
Yes.
I think deers are magical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Life
and
is magical.
very soon after their birth, they can
Huh.
run from wolves and stuff.
Yeah.
Here.
Tommy, did you see Sherelle Snow new avatar? I like it. I just want one like that with the fire eyes, the correct eyes, not the little
Well,
red
you're
dots.
oblivious, Hank, and you've ruined anything you had going, and I'm sorry you can't see that because you're blind.
Of course. Always has been.
Hank, you ran like a bitch. You got everything you wanted, and you still ran. You're a lot like Jack.
Yeah,
Tommy,
of course. And that's
you're
why
the
you broke no
biggest fan
contact
in
with
the
me
room,
the next
Tommy.
day because
And
I'm a
Paul,
coward and I
you're
ran away.
gay.
Because
Hank plays
With the exception
song.
of Hand Banana, Paul's all
Can
your
you-
fucking dead.
Hold on just a moment. I'm pretty sure this is all right. But Chris, are you there?
Yeah. Hey, Jack. How's it going?
Feeling
Oh,
good.
God.
Hey,
Please
Tommy.
take me
If
now.
I may, Jack, I just want to ask Tommy a quick. Is that okay?
Well, you
Wait,
had the
wait,
chance.
wait.
You got muted. Kick
Let me
rock.
ask you a question, Tommy. Why did you kick me off of a StreamYard and from commenting in your channel? That's not very polite, Tommy. Come on now.
Neither are you. Because you have zebra stripes. I've seen the things you say when I'm not around. I got no love for you, dumbass.
You're not very polite. You're very rude.
Polite is a thing of the society you think you understand.
Tommy,
Well,
you're
Paul-
like a hemorrhoid, okay?
You're
It's
See,
getting bad.
Paul's your daddy. I got the
Yeah.
clips of just very recent you and Sanity Machine just cucked up to your daddy like old times.
Tom.
I'll play him today.
Hey, I didn't mean to interrupt. Chris,
Jack, Paul's your
is there
daddy.
a resolve, or I mean, because Tom, you're absolutely right. Tom is
Paul is your daddy. Yes, I'm right.
and push people away.
Oh, is that what I do? Paul's your daddy?
Yep.
Yeah, that's all he's got.
Is
Paul,
that-
you're a
I
faggot
re-
fool, and you're a
I
nigger
remember
lover.
when you
You're a
came
cracker
on
ass
here the
nigger.
first time, Tommy. And
He could have hit that link last night. He could have hit that link last night, but he's a coward.
So you're a coward if you hit the link. You're a coward if you don't hit the link. If you're not Tommy, you're
No,
a coward.
you're
Yeah,
autistic and you're
Tommy just
defending
blocks
your
you so you
daddy.
can't defend
And
yourself.
Jack's his daddy.
I'm
Or no,
hey,
he's Jack's dad.
I think we need to pause you.
I think
Okay.
you need to unpause your life and do something.
Okay. This is like, seriously, this is real life, unhealed trauma being played out with arrogance. And Tommy's got a good heart, but holy crap, how do you get past that bitterness?
Let's ask his daddy.
Well, that's what came to mind. I think that was my parting word to you yesterday, wasn't it? Called you a bitter bitch.
Yeah, I like Tommy. He's
Jack,
just,
you are unhealed trauma projecting and arrogant.
That's
You
not
had a good
true.
take right there.
Let's pause. If you believe that, let's figure it out. Is that true?
Okay.
Because if it's true.
I've played the clips where you say you were so traumatized,
Here and
you
now.
developed other personality.
Tom, here and now is where life is happening.
Right. But whenever you hate on us, you're not going to stay in the here and now because you're a hypocrite and a projection.
I'm accepting you in the here and now.
I
Just
don't
like
accept
you
you, and you didn't accept me when you backstage me and projected what you are. And now it's like Groundhog Day because your daddy's
Hey,
going to sit
Tom.
quiet and let me wreck you.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Paul, I told you to
Can we
show
leave
you're a
it now,
narcissist.
Tom?
I'm done with you, and you keep pursuing me when I do not flee. You're nothing in these streets.
Hello.
All your career has been
Hello.
debunked, and you're Jack's daddy.
Hello.
He's
Tom.
a Machiavellian, not a narcissist.
Jack now. Who's Jack
Right.
Daddy?
There's a
Hold on.
difference.
Oh,
Yeah.
Paul is
Was that
Paul
Jack
is Hank's
Daddy?
cracker ass
Chaos
nigger daddy.
agents
Oh my
No,
God.
Gen X Jeff is my daddy.
Can we not do all that? Jeez.
Tommy,
here. Right.
Oh,
Just calm
Hand
down,
Banana doesn't like the racial slurs. What a nigger.
Oh, see?
Macroaggressions. Hello.
What is the tisms? How many of you guys have autism on this panel? I suspected at least Hank is this real autistic hero for sure, and Chris. I thought I at least saw you guys. No?
Let's go with that.
That's
And-
me.
And Moose probably.
Moose, that's right. Yeah, Moose. Like, do you have the tism, Moose? Don't lie to us. Be honest. I could tell.
Here, these diagnosis labels, they're only helpful if we're doing something with them. If we're just using it, I don't know. I don't know what the labels are being used for.
Well,
I think a lot of these labels are being used as excuses.
They
yeah,
are,
true. To act like a fool or do whatever they're doing. Maybe they're like, well, I'm autistic, so I could do it.
Yeah, they are. A lot of them are because they diagnosed me with ADD when I was younger.
I was gonna
And,
say you're one of them, Chris. What are you talking about?
I disciplined myself to stop being like that. So
Good
it
for
can
you.
work on it. Yeah.
I
How do
actually,
you figure that, Hand Banana, that I have ADD?
Oh, do you? Oh crap!
No, I'm asking you, how do you figure that?
I didn't say you had ADD. I said tism. I just said tisms.
Oh, you said autism. Okay, I thought you okay. Misunderstood you.
I thought you said you had it. Wait, do you? I probably.
Well, when I
have
was younger, I was
ADD.
diagnosed with it, but I disciplined myself to pay attention better.
Oh, nice. Did
See,
they give you medicines?
It is hard, but
There's no,
Yeah,
there's
give
no
me a-
medicines that work. It's
give me like a form of speed. It's like called Ritalin.
Oh, is that what that is? I thought it was supposed to calm. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, it's
but
like
it,
light
it works
speed,
the other way, right? Like it works the other way when you
calms you
have
down. Yeah,
ADHD, right?
revs you
Ain't
up and
that the
calms you
thing?
down. You know
Like,
what's that?
oh, yeah, I thought that was the thing. Like when you have like ADHD, they'll give you like stuff that would normally be like all hyped up for other people, but for you guys, supposedly it calms you down or something.
I believe how that works, yeah, because it calmed me down. So I don't know if Ritalin generally calms people down or if it only works with people that supposedly have ADD or what. I'm not sure. But
No.
let's get back to Jack. What's going on, Jack?
Hey, thank you.
Yeah,
The
what you been
mind,
up to?
the mind it's quite interesting, and it's been misunderstood, maybe intentionally, but a lot of these professionals offering the diagnosis, these experts, right? Some of the doctors and stuff, they're justifying their jobs. And when someone's justifying their jobs, well, people in authority will find more problems. You know, people who are cleaning up messes will find more messes. People will justify their jobs in any ways. And unfortunately, in this world where everyone's been conditioned to pledge allegiance to authority, people find excuses. And whether it's in the diagnosis, whether it's in a reputation, whether it's in whatever it was, people will find excuses. But I'm telling you, there is no excuse that's logical and that can be justified for this continuation of the old ways. It can easily be shown. I mean, it's just secrets and lies have created a world of insanity. So the best way to deal with that, I think, is to confront the liars. Let's, which would be hard because there's a lot of them. People don't realize they're lying. They just, they believe in what they've learned. Which is another part of the humbling experience I've been considering, right? In the idea of the spirit. Every single one of us, we are living our lives at the level of consciousness that we've gained. And people can only learn from what they've experienced. There's people who have not experienced kindness. I know that some people think they haven't, but I've heard stories, man. That guy, John St. Julian, his orphanage or his community he's built in Tanzania, they practice dark magic, ritual sacrifice. He's come across children born with disabilities and handicaps, and they live lives chained to the floor, kept alive just so the moms and dads don't get punished. It's like this cruelty that's happening outside of our lives. I honestly think it's important for us to realize. But hey, we'll swing it back to the topic. The topic is practice acknowledging the good. Because the more good we can find, the more positive we feel. And the more positive we feel, the more good we're going to share in the world. But it takes practice, just like everything.
What if like that's a good idea, but it only works if you're like a good person? But what if you get joy out of doing like bad things or fucking with people or just being a total piece of shit and you want to live your best life, you know? It's like I feel like it would be counterproductive because you'd be like, well, just live your best life and do whatever you think's right or whatever you think's good. And if you think hurting people and killing cats or some weird shit. So I got cats on the mind because of Trump yesterday. He
Yeah.
said they're eating the cats.
Yeah.
Or was it the dogs? Was it the dogs or the cats? I don't know. But yeah.
That's a good point, Hand Banana. If you're like Hidan from Naruto, you think just hurting people and maiming people was a good thing, and I would tell them, well, don't do that because it hurts and maims people. So yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Hey Hank, what do you think about these women who are breeders for children and they use them for satanic sacrifices? They just have children. That's really going on. Satanic.
Probably don't do that. I don't like it.
Well, here's something we realize that it's a real obvious yet overlooked solution. It's community. Because the reality is evil is only perpetrated for so long if it's enabled. And the evils of war have been enabled, and under the guise of wealth and authority, there are some very evil and sick things that happen in the world. And many of us have been blessed. We've lived lives where we've been protected.
Oh yeah.
Where it's hard for our good imaginations to conceive some of the evil things that are actually being done.
Well, I mean, look at some of the evil things we do to each other on a daily basis.
I saw a video of the war in Ukraine and Russia, and I think it was one of the Russian soldiers. They caught him, they pulled his pants down, grabbed him by the testicles, and cut them off with a box cutter.
Bastards, man.
And that was on Twitter, you guys. You guys can look it up if you want. That's a real video. Real war crimes. That's how they torture and maim each other right now.
So do you guys think NATO's to blame for starting this stuff with Russia when they broke policy and said they'd never set up shop in Ukraine? What do you think, Hen? No?
No. I think fuck Russia. Better dead than red, baby. Better
Dude, I
dead
suggest
than
you
red.
read about what NATO's doing.
I don't care what
They
NATO's
promised not
doing.
to set up shop in Ukraine, and that's what they're doing.
I don't give a shit.
And
Fuck
Russia's just
Russia.
defending themselves.
Fuck
man.
Russia.
You'd have to be
Fuck
objective. like that, man.
Russia. Okay,
So,
Chris?
Jack
It'd be like
Talcott,
Mexico setting up shop in
Hey,
Jack
Yeah.
Talcott, didn't you want to talk to Putin?
hold on just a moment here. Hand
I'm being
Banana,
objective.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jack. Go ahead.
you need to think your thoughts through.
Mm,
You do
What do
not
you mean?
know what you're saying. You're saying, what did you say? Better dead than red. Fuck Russia.
yeah. That
Playing
means that
along. Hold on.
they're quotable. Well, it's a quotable. Better dead than red. It's a quotable
Right.
thing from American
Right.
stuff.
American propaganda.
Propaganda, yes.
Yes. So are you that foolish to literally, as a human, to say other human beings are better off dead than alive?
Well,
Why? Because
they invaded a country that they had no reason to invade, and now they're
You-
getting
hold on,
murdered.
hold on. Hello, don't
Do you-
speak with so much arrogance, because it turns out you might know a little bit of what's going on,
Mhm.
but you're deceiving yourself into thinking you know the right answers, and you're publicly picking a
I
side.
thought you were against wars. That Russia
I
started
am.
A, Russia
I am.
started a war. They started a war.
Hello.
with
NATO's to
Ukraine.
blame, dude.
Turns out the TV
Uh-oh.
isn't always telling you the truth.
Russia invaded Ukraine.
Hey, Hand Banana,
Yes.
I can assure you, you could learn far more from me
Well,
if
tell
you
me
ask
what you
questions.
believe, please. I'm curious what you believe
If you
about
ask
Russia and Ukraine.
questions to understand why I say what I say, instead of
I don't know what you say about Russia at all. I've never heard you say anything about
let's
Russia.
discuss you, okay?
Yes.
Because I'm trying to get you to see. I know it's fun, and I know we're here having fun, but
Well, we were. Sheesh.
what you said is sickening.
To you, everybody else laughed and thought it was funny. You know, it was
Right,
only sickening
Hand
to
Banana.
you.
Hand Banana, wake up. Wake up.
So I have a
Okay.
question for you, Jack.
Well, let me explain. You're right. Many people laugh. This world is not sane. Why are you wasting my time here today again
Am I wasting your time? Did I
If
offend you
you're
somehow?
playing this game that Russia is to blame and they need to be dead.
Because I didn't say it like I was joking about I better dead than red means I'd rather be dead than be Russian. It doesn't mean I'm going to kill Russians or Russians should die. You just didn't understand the propaganda.
And banana, hello, I understand the propaganda you're spouting far fucking better than you do. And I am telling you,
You
you
should. It's
need to
from your
start
era.
paying it.
It's from
If
your
you
era. You should.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
I'm listening. I'm listening to you.
No, you're a drunk who has no purpose in your life.
I'm not
I've
drinking
seen
right
you.
now. Oh, geez.
I'm telling you what you've shown me.
My purpose is to make art and animation. That's currently
Then
what I'm
go
drawing. I'm
away.
drawing. I'm
Then
drawing.
go-
I'm doing it right now, Jack. I'm doing my purpose right now. I'm working on my
What?
pictures. I
Hand
draw
banana?
pictures. Look, I got a
Hello.
shit ton of pictures,
Hand
Jack.
banana.
Hello.
A lot of pictures
Beautiful.
in here, buddy. A
Hey,
lot of
Jack.
creepy
Beautiful.
pictures.
Hey, Jack, instead of going down this anger path, why don't you let me ask you my
Jack.
question?
Jeez.
Instead of getting angry, let me ask you my question, Jack.
Please do.
Okay. So, if God made us so we depend on resources to live in our biology, are we not slave to our biology? Unless you think everyone being dead is better.
Well, let's consider the word of slave, right? Slave is one who moves without willingness. They're directed. They have no control. So partially true. Yes, you could say that we are slaves imprisoned in the body here as we experience time together. And there's many who've run with that this world is a hell realm and it's better to rule in hell than to suffer in heaven. I disagree. I know that the kingdom of heaven is for us to receive.
Why don't you think this is currently heaven, Jack?
Yeah.
Why don't you think we're in? This is heaven right now. We are literally able to do anything
Right.
and everything we want.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So let's think about those who are trying to survive in hell right now. Let's see what we can do today to try and help end the wars that are happening.
So Jack, you may disagree, but I notice that you're still breathing.
And your point is irrelevant.
Can I ask a question? Which wars specifically? Like, I want to take a list of wars. That way we can start working on ways to end these wars. So which wars specifically do you want to end? And then we'll go from there.
First, we gotta win the war inside of ourselves. Then we can move outward.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
Well, then we're gonna all be procrastinating for a long time.
I would no. If you would listen to me, that is exactly what I can help you realize is how to overcome your contradictions, how to realize and to become more purposeful, more intentional with who you are and what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I can help you do that to end the conflicts within. Now, I've done that for myself, despite the beliefs and whatever people think I have. And if people join with me, then I'm trying to find anyone willing to help me end battles, right? Moose was looking for the opportunity to mediate resolve with any of those who found problems with him. I've been seeking that for myself for a long time.
So personal battles, not actual wars, not physical fights or anything. Personal things we go through day to day to just make us happy.
Well, that's the first start. But then when we realize, okay, I am in heaven. This life, this world has been given to me. What do I want to do with the life I've been given? Well, I really want to make a difference for others. I always have. Many I know are just like me. We want to know that we've done good. Well, once I got the idea that there were others here, I got to learn that there's other people doing amazing things. There's all sorts of solutions waiting for the world to celebrate. All we've got to do is work together.
So my question to you, Jack, is why can't you just implement the solutions locally and just demonstrate it with the facts and logic why it works, rather than you need everyone to agree with you and do the ways you say when to do for it to work?
Yeah, that comes off a little cultish when you do that.
Yeah, well, it's not accurate because I've explained it over and over. I don't expect anyone to obey me. No one has to do anything just my way. But I am asking and inviting. I think if anyone tried my way, it might work. Cooperating with me to confront some of the liars, to say, hey, enough is enough.
Well,
what is
yes.
real?
Yeah,
So,
let me ask the next question, Banana.
Okay.
But the thing is, I've been trying to understand your way for months, and till as of 2 days ago, you said I couldn't teach it back to you in a way that you would validate, that I could even comprehend your way. So how can I perform a way I can't even comprehend by your standards?
And follow-up question, who are these liars that we need to confront? That way I could take a list of them and we can start confronting them. Am I the liar? Is it also me? I gotta confront my own lies. So just write a fucking Bible, Jack. That's what you want to do. Just write a Bible, start a cult, buddy. This is all a religion. You're teaching a religion here. You need to. This is nothing.
This guy's really negative, Jack.
Oh, I thought it was being positive. I'm on board with it. I'll join a cult. I don't give a fuck. Let's start a fucking cult. Just call it what it is.
This cult doesn't want you. I'm feeling.
You're not even in the cult. Shut up. You know nothing.
No, I kind of am, dude. I'm the original founder. Let's not get hasty here.
Oh, so you guys know it's a cult then? Okay.
Well, he got kicked out for a bit, but we let him back in.
It's a cult, non-cult, dumbass.
So you don't get the freaking tax breaks? That's crazy.
Seriously.
In this cult, we don't believe in taxes even existing. Sorry, Jack. Go ahead.
Oh, that's true. I forgot. That's true.
Well, and it is and is not a cult, but it's not my idea. I'm suggesting people turn to the way, and my way is not necessarily your way. But when you're following the way, if you want to do something, you figure it out.
Okay, let's turn this into a 10-step program real quick. The way, the 10 steps to get through the way. How would you step it? Like, what would your procedure be? Because I feel like these will help us learn. It'd be like, hey, we're trying to learn. I'm trying to help everybody, including myself, understand what you're saying. So I feel like these are decent questions. The way.
Hey, if you want to know how to follow the way, you got to follow the voices in your head, my friend.
That sounds right.
Well, you can listen to them, but you want to follow the silent voice that comes from the heart. It leads the heart. It knows the heart. It answers to the heart. There is for me, it's the voice. It still sounds the same as my voice, but it's different in that the answers don't come from me.
They come from the ego. That's what that is.
Hey, banana, I like being.
That's the voice inside you, the one making the conscious decisions. Or I think I forget what the other one is, the one that makes the decisions without your consciousness.
Id.
Like the id.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's your ego making those. Yeah.
Well, to follow the way, to find the way, you must first know where and who you are. So the number one thing is radical acceptance, super acceptance. In like the 12 steps, it's your inventory. You do an accountability of who you are, what you are not, and what made you into what you've become. Because if you don't know who you are, you won't know what you want. And you'll just think you'll keep on going with what other people tell you to want. And the world will tell you to want to be angry. The world will tell you to want to be afraid, to want to be greedy. I've played all those things.
So the first step would be super acceptance is the point where I decide I want to do it for myself to emotionally or physically benefit myself, but like internally, you know, whatever, like a little spiritual journey or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Next, second step. You got a lot of steps to go, so make sure you spread them out.
It's actually a very quick and simple path, but accepting the path and trusting the path, it's, you know, it can be challenging because a lot of self-doubt creeps in. But the way is actually very simple. It reveals itself. So once you account for who you are, good and bad, you're present in the present, you surrender. You surrender to honesty, like absolute honesty to yourself and to others. And the best way to be honest is to be silent.
I don't know about that. The best way to be honest, in my opinion, is just to be honest. Don't tell lies. Don't steal. Don't wrong people. Yeah, just be very transparent. That doesn't mean be quiet. That just means I mean, you don't gotta be quiet to be honest. I mean, it just means you don't got a lot of nice things to say, do you?
Well, this is the practice, though, of maturity. Much of what we say is irrelevant. It provides no true value inside our heads and outside. We think it does. We give ourselves a lot of importance, and we give the things we think a lot of importance, but most of it is irrelevant. So to stay honest, we must stay present. We must stay aware, paying attention to what we see and hear ourselves saying, and then paying attention to what we see and hear others doing, saying. And then when you have an honest, from knowing where you are, who you are, with the intention to stay present, to stay honest, then you go to the future. What is the greatest experience that your mind can imagine? You know, whether it's in the manner of health or relationship or material abundance or experience. The real question is, what do you want to experience? And the ego will come up with limitations, and we can come up with the excuse that I can't imagine, but you can. And if you press yourself to imagine better than you've ever thought possible, but believe it's something you want in your heart, spend time with that, getting clarity in the vision and in your internal energies. And the best way to know a success is to envision how it affects others. What is the benefit to the world? And then that's it. Once you know who you are, where you are, once you got a clear goal of your purpose, your greater purpose, what you want to learn and accomplish, then you don't waste time on irrelevant things.
So, do you have to do something good for the world, or can't you just do what makes you happy? Like, what if I'm like, I really like playing basketball. I'm not going to get paid for it, but I'm going to wake up, I'm going to play basketball. I'm not going to have any money, so sure, I'm going to end up eating cats. But whatever. It makes me happy. I'm happier than I was, you know, slaving away at my job or whatever. Let's pretend I'm happy playing basketball a day and eating cats, whatever. I don't know. So, like, would that be like... Well, actually, let's leave that. We'll leave the eating cats part out. That's too much. It's because then it's gonna make it like we're not talking about killing things.
I get what you're saying. Some people may like to do things that are not sustainable. Where, well, this is where the honesty has to come in. And within us is a giving nature. The world conditions, the material way it's society, it wants us to deny giving. And we're always focused on what we can take.
Let's say if I add this to my scenario real quick, I quit my job, but I play basketball all day, and then I go and donate my time to like a homeless shelter and I help feed homeless people. Is that part of giving? So like I guess I'm trying to get to is like, is it more about giving back to the public, the world, and making changes in people's lives, or is it more about me just playing basketball and being happy doing what I want to do? And is that the end goal? Because
it would come from you. I mean, if I was working, if we were working together, I would want to know better, what is it about the activity of basketball that brings you happiness? And is there something in that activity that you're receiving that you can also share with others? And is there a way to be rewarded for what you enjoy doing? Is there a way to be rewarded as you share with others?
I mean, if I'm playing basketball against other people and I'm like dunking on them or some shit, I'm gonna get rewarded with like serotonin in my brain, dude. It's gonna be awesome. Be instant gratification. Just
no, I mean externally.
Oh, like money?
Is it?
Like,
yeah.
Or is somebody gonna give me money to play bad? Not likely.
Right. Well, then that's a hobby. That's not a purpose. That's something you can do in your time to detach from the world. But a true life.
But my purpose has to make money. Is like when I find my purpose. Find purpose. That's what I'm gonna put. Find purpose.
Here, your purpose can be anything you want, but if you don't have a purpose, life gets pretty miserable.
How do we spell purpose again? I don't want to spell it wrong. What is it? P-U-R-P?
P-O-S-E.
P-O-S-E. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
P-U-R-P-O-S-E. I'm taking notes too.
All right. So what I got was the way so far. You guys, step by step so far. Okay, so super acceptance, follow the heart. You got to be totally radicalized to this new idea, and it has to come from you. Then account for good, bad deeds, and everything you did in the past, and just be honest. So I wrote down honest is one of the steps, silent is one of the steps, because you were like, don't say nothing. And then inward assessment, which is like during the silence, you inwardly assess your life and how your version of heaven should be. Then you try to make it into reality in the next step where you choose your life path. And then when you choose your life path, does it give you the purpose you wanted? So did you find purpose? Did you not find purpose? Because if you didn't, now you got to probably go back to the life path stage and fucking reassess some things until you find your purpose. That's where I'm at. Is that the way? This is the way.
It could be. Yes, there's many ways to approach what I'm suggesting, but the goal in life is to love the life you are living. And so if that's the purpose you have, if you want to love the life you're living, we have ingrained with us in our heart, the heart of service. Because the true, actually, this is off on the religious stuff, but the true messages of the teachings is the law of unity, the law of one. Do no harm. So the way is simple. Be grateful, be kind, be humble, be gentle, be good. And we can all work on that.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I do try to be like kind and good. Yeah, I guess. I don't know about gentle or any of the other stuff though.
The gentle is something I've been working on because it seems contrary. You know, you got to be strong, you got to be aggressive so that you're taken seriously. But the other side of that, if people are in defensive postures or, you know, they don't feel comfortable with you, they're not really going to care. They won't understand. And that's been my downfall. I'm hoping here to tie it back to the bigger picture, right? To break away, sorry, from the way, but it's really that simple. Surrender, be present, be honest. And then with those things, your faith grows. And with your faith, you get bigger ideas. And with the bigger ideas, you learn different things, you do different things. But you asked about which wars do we want to end?
Yeah, but you said they were inside, right? They weren't actual wars, are they?
Well, there are. I mean, there's wars right now that are being funded by the American taxpayers as they go along and earn their living. You know, they're doing their job, living their life.
That's the Ukraine one, right? Or the Israel one? Which one? Because I think we fund both sometimes.
It's all of them. The U.S. is involved in everything. If it's not directly the governments, it's the corporations. So the first battle I think that can be ended here in the United States, it would be 2 battles ending all at once. But the idea is in Congress with the employees of the federal government, we end the battle between the Republicans and the Democrats so that, you know, they stop conspiring against the people. Because right now we've got the government at war against the people are fighting against the government. Within the government and within the people, it's all divided, fighting against different ideas. So let's bring peace into the forefront of the conversations of the people who are currently serving the United States government. Let's not wait for November. You know, we can create some real great changes.
All right, I have a question that I promise, I guarantee, will make you mad. Would you let me ask it?
What if? Go ahead, but I hope to show you wrong.
Yes. So, how can you end the battle between the Republicans and Democrats that has been going on for 100 years if you can't end the battle between us and the Keystone Cop crew that's been going on for like 100 days?
Because the battles that people have chosen here, they're irrelevant. They don't accomplish anything. But the finding a way, and if it's not me, I mean, I'm continuing to find others. Maybe there's other better communicators. Maybe there's other people who can accomplish this. But the world becomes safer when people stop fighting. And if we surrender to that which is real, we all become present and aware and alive, and the realization that, okay, my life begins today. What do I want to experience in my future that's greater than what I've experienced in the past? You know, God created us all. I've learned what I have. I've experienced what I have. I feel this in my heart that this is the solution, a world without secrets and lies.
What makes the battle between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party relevant when it was the same party in the first place and the policies are pretty much the same anyways?
I'm going to trust that each person has within them the spirit from God. They have the opportunity to be good or evil. And when I started earlier in the stream, I pointed out, you know, what I trust can be shown is true is people operate at the level of mind that they've acquired. Well, through very successful propaganda and manipulation, the capitalist propaganda, the anti-communism ideas, that's been taught to the people who are in government today. They don't know what they're doing. They think they're doing their jobs. They think they're doing the right things. We can show them they're wrong. We can show them that, hey, the irresponsible behavior of the men and women in Congress, they're writing rules and laws every day to justify their own damn jobs, and they're not accomplishing shit. So why are we continuing to allow it to be funded? And, as though the vote, November, that's our only chance, and we got to choose one of these guys. They're going to save us. Bullshit. What are we doing?
Why don't you run for Congress?
It's not my path.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it would be. You want to be in charge of these things. The problem is, it's nobody's path. Nobody wants to do those shitty jobs, honestly. Who the hell would want to be in Congress?
Hold on. You're offering me suggestions, but then you didn't reflect back what I said. I don't want these positions. I don't want to tell anyone what to do. I want to be an advocate for the truth in front of the citizens of Congress. I want to represent the truth and the people around the world. It's a perfect story that could happen.
The best way I think you could do that is by running for Congress.
So I have a question.
Rather than what I'm saying, do you think that's a better idea?
Sorry.
Yeah, well, you would be in charge of sharing the truth with the people. You would be making the decisions.
Here, let Hank, please.
Yeah. Okay. So my question is, what do you do if and only if they hear the truth, hear the message, and decide, nah, I don't think that's true, like the Keystone Cop crew is doing right now?
What would the rest of the world do? What would you do? What would you do if publicly the people of Congress were presented the facts that show the corruption can no longer continue? The solution is immediate reforms and diplomacy for change. And so if we present the facts, and of course I go into the details of why and how we got here, but so then they want to ignore someone who does that. What are you going to do?
Oh, okay. So before I give you my answer, I want to acknowledge that you did not you answered my question with a question. Will you acknowledge that?
All right.
Yes. So what I would do is marginalize the credibility and use whatever leverage I get to get them to make decisions I want them to make.
All right. Well, and that's kind of my answer is if I fail, I'm sure that others will see what I'm doing and will get the shit done, because human lives, every day that we just sit around talking about it is another day we don't actually move forward with the idea. But wars and immediate reforms are available today. And I believe it doesn't have
reforms. What are immediate reforms, if you don't mind me asking?
Immediate reforms. Secrets. They don't have to be legal for the governments and the corporations. Secrets and lies are the devil's tools. The devil's tools are funded by the money system. The truth is right in front of our eyes. What is happening?
What is your definition of a secret?
Oh, that's good.
What do you not understand?
I don't understand what you mean by a secret, so I asked you to define it for me.
What is a secret according to you?
Before you answer the question, I want you to acknowledge that you answered my question with a question.
With a question, that's never good, Jack.
Okay, so both of you are finding reasons to judge me.
No, I'm not
Hank,
judging you.
Hank,
I want you to acknowledge you answered my question with a question.
right.
So I'll give
Yeah.
you my answer once you
Okay.
acknowledge that you didn't answer my question with a question.
Yeah,
Sure,
the
man.
thing is, Jack,
And
I'm
Banana,
sorry. It's
back
just
off.
it's
Hey,
just
back off.
sorry.
Please. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hank, I can list a number of obvious secrets that are in the public realm that have already been disclosed that you know about.
You didn't understand my question then.
I don't
My question
understand.
was your definition of a secret. So if I find
Right.
something, I can identify as a secret.
Okay. So, Hank, I don't understand why you need me to answer that. I mean, just in your own words, when I say we need that the governments and corporations should not be keeping secrets, when I say that, what do you think I mean by secrets?
Okay, well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by secrets, so I'm asking you to clarify by providing a definition. I could define it for you, but
Okay.
that would mean you refuse to give me your definition
How
so I
would
can
you?
understand you.
So please forgive me. I'm trying to understand what's preventing you from using your own definition of secret to make my words make sense. But
I could do that, but I don't know how you're interpreting the term secret. So I could
and
fill
I'm
in the gap,
suggesting,
but I wouldn't know what you mean by secret yet.
okay. So, all right, great. So I'm still trying to understand what you might have understood. So this is where communication breaks down for us. When our mind gets focused on a word, we allow ourselves to get confused. But Hank, if I'm talking about ending the government and corporate secrets, what would you think I'm talking about?
Okay, I will answer that question, but I want you to acknowledge first that you answered my question with a question.
Fine, I've done that. I've acknowledged
Yes.
it several times. I
Yeah,
don't know what
yes.
you're proving with that. But
Yes. So trade secrets, passwords, security key fobs, those are all secrets. So you would say get encryption. You would say end all encryption, end all security, end all trade secrets. Don't keep anything private to yourself. In fact, your keys is a secret. So denying access to property. You would ask the government to end all of those. So that's how I interpret that. That means someone could just walk into a power plant and just disable it. But we have to trust that they won't do that.
okay, so that's absurd, Hank, and I get why you don't understand. So I guess let me try to be a little more specific. I don't want to go to the details, because if I'm wrong on the details, then we start arguing over details. If I say something wrong about something, we argue about something else. Hank, what I'm talking about is the true to life conspiracies that have been happening through the cooperation of people employed with the CIA, with the FBI, with the media agencies, all of these experts in universities, non-disclosure agreements, and these oaths of secrecy, Hank. These corporations are competing against each other, as they say, for profits and control. The illusions of power are hidden behind secrets and lies. Does that now make a little more sense?
I understand, but you didn't define the word yet. So
I
I don't know
didn't
what.
define the word when I said non-disclosure agreements, oaths and agreements made behind closed doors, not to mention these binding contracts that are hidden.
Okay,
Those
I understand now.
does
So
that help?
yes, it does. So you would
Okay.
advocate the legal requirement to publish all agreements to the public. Is that correct?
No, I
Okay,
would suggest what I've been saying.
Then I don't
Which
understand
is,
your policy change.
I don't see. Do you understand what cooperation is? I know you do.
Yes, I understand what cooperation is, but I don't understand your policy change. So if you say secrets are bad, you shouldn't keep secret agreements, then the opposite is to publish agreements, public agreements. So all agreements would be
Here's,
published in public for people can read them.
I
So
know.
which one do you want?
I want the truth, Hank. And I want people to give a shit about what is true instead of wanting to stay confused and not knowing. That is
I,
my prayer. But God controls. God controls what we know when we realize it. It is all part of God's great plan. So, Hank, the solution I'm offering to people, and hand banana so you know, the cult I'm suggesting,
Yeah.
it's the way shown through Christ Jesus. It's what was taught by the Buddhas and practiced by the Buddhas. It's the way of love and compassion.
If this,
I'm
like,
feeling.
I was gonna
Yeah.
ask, like, if this like is a cult, what would you like to name the cult?
The ego mind is that which worries about the words and labels. I'm trying to get people to be present and aware of today. If anyone is willing to try and take a chance and work with me, despite my lack of, detail in how to accomplish it, please reach out.
So what do you want us to do?
I made my best effort so far, but I don't even understand the fundamentals yet. After like how many
Is there
months?
any, okay, but Hank, I'm sorry to interrupt, Hank. What can I do to help you understand? What can I do?
Let's say he doesn't understand. Just give him something to do. What would let's say his first mission to go change the world. What is it? Maybe he'll understand after he does the mission.
That's not my path. This is what I'm confident of. My path as a coach, as a man, as a friend is not to tell people what to do. I want to invite people to practice thinking for themselves.
What do you do with these practices?
Here, this is why it is important to work with the willing. I'm trying to find the willing. Everyone is on their own path. Not everyone can see or wants to at the given moment. Our ego wants them to. I realize that. You're absolutely right. And that's what I said. God will control the hour and the day, the moment that allows people to see we are all on our path. The way is revealed in the moments of the day. How are we treating each other? We either care or we don't.
So are we actually doing the training in class right now? Is this, and wouldn't this just be it? Just talking? Or do we actually, since we don't actually go out and do anything and you're the teacher, then this is pretty much the class. We're already doing everything we're supposed to be doing so far.
This is whatever you want it to be. I mean, I do appreciate if you would look at this as a potential class, a potential opportunity to learn some of the things that I've learned for myself. I appreciate that. Because for a long time, I faced a lot of disrespect.
White rainbow. Where's that? White rainbow.
White rainbows. I'm smoking on some lemonberry OG.
Oh, nice.
And Jack has faced so much disrespect on the internet that I'm shocked that he's still here. And that's why I came back. I said, Jack, I'm not going to come back because this shit's never going to change, right? But then I noticed something. I said, look, You can't be a coward. If you want to see change, you got to be the change. You gotta work towards it. You know. So here we are, Jack. Here we are having a good day, trying to figure out how we're going to end wars and suffering, and we still have confused individuals around us. But
yeah, I want to ask every last one. Yeah, and I want to ask, I'm right along with you, Moose, because I want to ask every last one of you. How many of you could stand there with the balls 2 years on, still putting up with all this fucking bullshit? See, ain't not a one of you would do this day in and day out like Daddy Paul poses.
I do.
Not
I
a
gave
one
up
of
the
you.
other day. I gave up. I said I'm out of here. I'm fucking done.
I'm actually
No, I don't
almost
get
as
good.
active as Jack over here on the YouTube.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about coming back after all the abuse, even from myself. Like I've said before, I admit to my own wrongdoings in my relationship with Jack. And that's not just a wrongdoing against Jack. It was a wrongdoing against me. If I truly want my message to come out, I've got to learn to calm down and spread that message. And
Oh,
it
you got a
doesn't have to be
message?
cupcaking.
What is your message? What are you trying to spread?
He's got a lot of wisdom too.
Yeah, look at this excommunicated, non-excommunicated. Anybody who thinks they can excommunicate anybody from the word of truth while they're posing the word of truth doesn't know what excommunication is about. And that proves to me that they're speaking nothing but babble. And I think most people know who I'm talking about. So let's leave it at that, and let's make sure it's clear that nobody can put their definition of success on me. My success is my practice to communicate with the one that I choose to communicate, and that is the source of life. I don't need to communicate with a legislator. I don't need to communicate with the UN. I don't even need to communicate with Jack. But when I do, the primary element is that I keep myself in a communication capacity. In order to do so, I need to learn how to quell down and keep it even keel. And again, that's not a matter of cupcaking and kissing everybody's motherfucking ass. Fuck you. You ain't my daddy. I'm going to talk to him.
Sorry to interrupt. It's a practice, humbling ourselves to God's presence in the moment. That's the key I found for myself, because some people, man, I get feelings. I get pissed off at some of these people. Yeah. But the way I've found for myself is to be humble to God's presence in the present. And there is something to be said about how we communicate with each other.
Jack, I want to make another point before it's something really important, that happens a lot, right? Is people will push buttons to get the reaction, right? And they'll keep pushing those buttons and they'll keep pushing those buttons. And so like, it's not something that would normally happen. And if we were all sitting in a room, there might be a little button pushing here and there, but it wouldn't be to the point where it gets that, emotional or angry or whatever, and I think I think it's a disservice to try to pretend that we're not all capable of that if we're pushed that far, and when you're the only one on panel and there's like 9 other people up here and they're all shitting on you, like that shows some stoicism, and it shows some heart to see you come back every day and fight for what you believe in.
I appreciate that. It's a little bit of stubbornness and stupidity though too, because there is value in the suggestions that have been, Jack, shut the door, right? Stop letting these fools back, like Snafu in the background. But hey, there is something about us being able to communicate with each other effectively. And Wizard, actually, Ham Banana had asked. you had asked about excommunicated.
Mm-hmm.
Not to speak for him, but he shares a ton of wisdom regarding the legalese. He'll help you navigate through understanding a lot of the terms and the conditions that have been set out on us. So
okay, Is that's what he tries to share with people, like his message, or is that just like his, what is that called?
Amongst other things,
Career.
Wizard is a radical. He's a kindred brother, you know, but I think Paul is too, and I think many of us are. That's why we're here in these
Grilling down there.
The only thing different between Jack and Wizard is 93 fucking cases.
Well, that's one of the differences for sure. Our paths have been different. However, the similarities between he and I, for sure, the devotion to God, devotion to the truth, some true loyalty for those who are loyal. I see those things.
So why was he excommunicated?
Well, Paul is he's a very talented young man, but he makes it very challenging to be around him.
Oh, okay.
He wants to diminish the light of others. And, well, I honestly think, Wizard, just like you, and I think you and I are in the same boat with Paul, and maybe Moose too.
Also me.
And you, man.
Paul doesn't know anything about communicating in private. So when it came about the bit non-bit thing, and I gave him his first warning, and he did it again, I gave him his second warning. We specifically discussed, when I'm on panel, I play my part as I see it. If you want to play me as a bit non-bit, you got to give me fair warning. He wanted to play me as a bit non-bit and brought snafu up when we were having an issue and wanted to keep it public. And I told him, no, we need to take this private. He brought snafu up. I said, okay, that's the third time. I'm not coming back. I won't be back. So then I started trolling him with all my channels in the chat because he told me in chat he was going to excommunicate me. You facetious motherfucker.
Hey, here's
Yes.
what he is. Here's what he is. You get to practice forgiveness.
Yeah.
You get to be grateful for the disrespect and for all the challenges that have been offered to you.
And respect. Like, I don't sit here and talk bad about Paul if he's not going to be here, you know?
Yeah. I won't talk about bad about Paul, just say what happened with me. Yeah, Paul wanted to use me as a bait. He sent me to Troll Jack's show, and once I got here, I just cupcake, which was just act like a normal panelist.
And so let me ask you, and so let me ask you guys, when he comes up on panel and he has an issue with other people, he addresses those with those other people. How come he doesn't address it with me when I'm on panel? Instead, he leaves. He wants to trade. He wants to try to play this subliminal mind game like I do with the excommunicated, not non-excommunicated, not say anything. See, you tried playing that game on you once before too, Jack. Come up and then not say anything.
I know he's another man like us. He's dealing with his own pride, and he may not enjoy arguing with you. You know, it may cause him to be unsettled because I saw care and respect from him to you. He doesn't understand how to appreciate the goodness that people bring.
Well, I think it's all a standard that none of us can measure up to. So I think that's where it's at.
For now, but this is the thing. All of us can overcome our pride. And when we overcome our pride, we can accept each other for who we are, good and bad. Here's a thought. I heard this from someone else, and I've been thinking about this, and I really think it's true. Happiness is an indicator of our relationship with the truth. Happiness is an indicator of our relationship with the truth. What do you guys think about that?
I disagree, but it's false.
Daisy May, what are you thinking? What are you thinking, Daisy?
They jump to it. They're like, I disagree. Why do you disagree? Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Everybody jumps to disagree with Jack, but I want to hear why.
Oh, yes. So I disagree because I met many delusional people who are very happy about it. They don't give a crap about the facts. but they're happy about it. So
Appearance or genuine happiness?
well, generally, I'm not them, so I can't confirm for sure. But I would say appearance because that's all I have access to.
Oh, dude. So, question for you, Jack. If say you grew up in a world where there was like in a part of the world where there was no war, there was no conflict and no fighting, how do you think that would be when they met the rest of the world? Like you know what I mean? If we made USA, if we were like, okay, we got everybody in USA is finally on board with our ending war and conflict. Now, how do we get the rest on board?
Yeah, because we're not actually at war, are we?
There's many wars that are happening. Truly. There's a war against freedom. There's a war against our health. There is a lot of wars. And that question, I was trying to understand the question. I did grow up in a world where there wasn't wars. There's a lot of battles inside the house, but there weren't wars in my experience. I grew up, I don't know. Many of us live sheltered lives because we don't know, we don't see and experience how other people are living. But my life, I've been blessed and I've seen people living in many different ways in this world. So how do we create peace in the world? We convince people to stop fighting. And you offered a disagreement, Hank, but I've been thinking about this thought, and I truly believe happiness is an indicator of our relationship to the truth. The truth is eternal. Happiness can be fleeting, but when we are aligned with that which is true in the moment, in the present, when we are aligned and not fighting what is true, we're not resisting, we're not complaining about what's true, happiness is, contentment is. But then our ego desires come up and we want more and we want more. But what I found for myself, what I want more of, I want more God. I want my mind to be on God more. Why? Because that's where the answers come from. That's where I find my inspiration. It's where I find my peace, my bliss, my joy is with God. And I know God to be the truth. So how about that?
Are you Christian or Catholic?
My religion is love.
Oh.
Are you trying to bait the catchphrase?
So you're Buddhist.
Jack Talcott, are you trying to bait the catchphrase? Because if so, I'll say it.
Trying to bait the who?
Okay, I'm going to say it. Truth is just a feeling.
Life is just a feeling.
Yes, that's factual too.
So
I'm going to change the title of your thing here tonight. Practice acknowledging the good. Practice acknowledging the God. The picture I have up is my reminder of God, merely an image and likeness as children of the Most High. With that, be blessed. Know I love you, but I don't give one fuck whether you love me back or not. That's to say, I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you don't respect me. That's on you. So may God bless you and have a good day.
You are loved, brother. And that photo, that image from long ago looked like a young man. And if that's part of that story, that the heartbreaking story, there's light and love. There is that beautiful experience captured in that image, in that moment. And Wizard, I hope you find the benefits to care, because I want you to care about how much you are loved. Wizard is loved by many of us.
Wait, Wizard said he doesn't care?
He said he doesn't care if we love him or not.
Oh, yeah. I know that. He doesn't care. But he still loves you. I think that's I think it's a good saying. I think he tries to put up a front, but I think he's a softie on the inside.
Wait, do you guys actually love that guy?
Yes.
Sure,
Like-
why not?
Shit, that's weird.
Like a
I don't
brother.
know. Oh, you guys actually know each other, like in real life or shit?
No, only online. But I'm a man of love. I think I'm pretty easy to love, to be honest, but apparently not.
You're easier to love than to understand, Jack.
Ah, I can honor that. Thank you, Hank. And I bet that's accurate too. I am tough to understand sometimes, and I know that. But seriously, we are all children of God. We may not always act like it, that's for damn sure. But when we humble ourselves to the truth, we are. Jesus was the example for us. Now, there's many people, and I used to be like that. I convinced myself, I don't give a fuck if these people like me or not. I'm going to do what is right, and I'm going to do what is me. I wasn't always right, and I actually wasn't as honest about me as I thought. Because the reality is, I do care that others love me. I do care that other people care. All of us do. But we want to deny our hearts and convince our mind, through our mind, well, I don't care if they like me or not. There is some health to that, because we can't be dependent on the love and the care of others. We've got to be fully independent. But you know what? If you can be fully independent, realize I don't need the love, I don't need the care of anyone else, and then be grateful. We can appreciate the love and the care that is shown for us, even if it's not always there, even if it just shows up once in a while. That's the practice I have. And it feels good. It really feels good to be free of battles and hate and worries.
All right, Jack. Wait. So, Hank, do you love Jack?
Of course.
Okay, so but you're not in love with Jack, right? Like it's a brotherly love, right?
Yeah, brotherly and agape, that kind.
All right. What about you, Jack? Is it like like brotherly love, or is it like you want his booty love?
No, it's what Hank said.
Oh,
and
okay.
That's what I'm
brotherly.
talking about.
Like, okay, I'm just making sure because I know that
Yep.
since we established this is a cult, I'm just making sure. I'm just learning the rules, making sure.
Hey, the goal is to fall in love with life. Because when you love life, when you love the life you're living, when you know who you are, you know where you are, you know what you want to accomplish, where you want to end up. When you know all that, dude, life is a fun adventure. Because living in love, it's our natural design. All of the fear and all of the reactions, all the chemical activity that happens within us, it's all designed to keep us going.
But
there's
you guys don't go around telling people you love them every day, right? Like you don't just see a woman at the store and be like, "Hey, I love you."
Jack
And
does.
just,
I don't.
Your cashier or something, just be like, "Hey, you are loved," or something. Like, do you do that, Jack? What about you, Hank? Anybody?
I don't do it. Jack does though.
Oh, Jack does. Damn, Jack, that's crazy to me. See, that's a little
Well,
crazy.
I'm not absurd with it, and I'm respectful. I don't go to strangers and make them uncomfortable. And some strange dude comes out saying, "I love you."
Right?
Actually,
That's what
I
I
used to
mean.
do
Like,
that.
I mean, like you gotta learn some communication skills there. That comes off a little crazy to people. Like, I don't know you, and
it does. However, I started realizing the benefits of how good it felt to receive a compliment or an encouraging word. I noticed it when people shared it with me. I felt good and I carried it with me. So I made a practice. When I see someone doing something that I appreciate, even if they're holding the door for someone else, they're doing something kind for someone else, I encourage them and thank them. You know?
Oh, okay, but that's not like I love you. Do you actually feel love for these people though? Like, just let's say like I'm just curious about how deep is your love or whatever. Like, do you like drive by a homeless person and they're like sad and they got a little sick dog next to them, and you think in your mind, I love you, as you drive away and don't give them no change? Do you think that, like, I'm curious, is that what, like, do you love them? Do you love them?
I practiced that. And actually, in that example, there's been some days where I offer prayers and I just continue my way. There's days
Have you
where
ever
I'll
peeled
circle
out?
back. What's that?
Oh, I was just asking if you've ever peeled out on somebody.
Not since
I've met some rude people out there that are on hard times. You know, I give them like whatever I have in my wallet, and they're like start yelling at me. Oh, you can't give me more, you piece of shit. You know, I'm like, what?
You're ruining it for all the other ones.
Yeah, I treat it like a super chat. They just have to entertain me or educate me. Then I'll open my wallet for them.
Oh, so you're like a puppet master.
Exactly, Moose.
I just gotta like maybe have over $50 in my wallet, and actually some of it be maybe a 1 or 2, and I might give it to them if they ask. You know, I wouldn't go out of my way to give people money anymore. It's a little strange to me.
Well, I try to help people. I haven't had much money to share for a while, but I've been very generous when the opportunities come up. But the question was, how do I interact with others?
Like, it was more about like how you think about it. Like, you're like, and not even so much like interacting with others. I kind of moved off of that. I was like thinking so you love everybody, just people all the time, just all the time.
I love
strangers.
I love life. Life happens in moments. So I pay attention to the moments of my day, the moments of my life, and I love those who share my experience. And everyone who we experience, we get to choose what we offer. We get to choose what we take away from, based on what's offered from them. And every person is an opportunity to receive blessings or lessons. Some people are pretty irritating. They bring us lessons to learn, and we can find gratitude in that.
So
what's that?
When did you decide to start doing this whole I'm going to teach people about the way, let's just call it the way or whatever? Like, when did you decide to start doing that? I know we kind of talked about it a little bit before.
All right, Ham Banana, respectfully, let's
Yes.
not disrespect the way. by laughing after calling it the way.
The way. Well, I mean, well, because I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I
What else
understand,
do
I'm
you call
sorry.
it?
it's from like
Yeah.
a Star Wars thing. That's why I'm laughing. 'Cause it's like this
Well,
is the way,
It's
you
the,
know. Like
the force, dude.
the Force.
Jack,
Oh, is that
Jack,
what it
yeah.
is? Oh, maybe I was a little off.
hey,
The Force is the way.
it said Jesus was a teacher of the way.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
And Jack, if you had
There
the
we go.
power to force choke somebody like Darth Vader, would you use it? Like not kill him or something, you know, but like just
As
Just
a
choke
show
him.
of
Yeah,
power,
just choke him a little.
just
God,
give him a little.
tempting. It'd be tempting not to, because I've physically choked people before. You know, it pissed me off. You just grab the throat, shut them up for a little bit.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Jack's a savage, dude. You don't even know.
Yeah,
Jack
shit,
was a soldier.
apparently. That's rough.
Jack,
oh, yeah,
Jack
you're a
was
soldier, huh? You got to
he
do
was the
some crazy
mailman.
shit.
He was a postal worker for many years. So, all right, let's get back to what do the Jedi's have for their powers, man? Like all the dark dudes have like all these cool powers. They got double-edged swords and shit. Like what do the good guys have? You know, how do we beat the evil?
It's the
I-
Force.
You got to have the Force. Was that the Jesus Force?
The power of God. It's we can point to it and explain it in a lot of different ways, but it truly is. It's the power of God. It is with us and for us if we align ourselves appropriately with it. Miracles happen. You asked when I chose to start teaching.
Yeah, like when did you
Well-
come up with this idea of the way? Like
Here-
something, all these things changed, and then something made the way happen, right? I'm not worried about what facilitated. I'm just curious at what year or whatever did you decide to, or did you learn of this new mind frame you got now, the way?
I started learning it and I found myself, I started discovering it at the end of 2017. Earlier in this stream, I talked about the radical acceptance. I
Yeah.
did that January 1st, 2018. That's when I did my radical acceptance. It was New Year's Day. I looked at myself in the mirror, took an honest inventory, and I was not happy. So I chose to make some changes and I chose to become greater than I used to be. And this is after being, serious alcoholic. So it's after I'd already done my 12 steps and working through sobriety. Through the military and at the post office, I'd had experience as an instructor, as a leader. I knew that I was a decent communicator and I knew that I could be a decent healer, counselor or coach. So it was early 2018, I started discovering self-development and believing that I could help others.
Oh, that's good. I mean, at least you tried to help others. I felt like I went through some COVID stuff a few years ago, and I kind of feel like that, and being out of work kind of changed my mind frame and everything a bit. So I get kind of like being like one way and then changing to something slightly better or just different, I guess. At least you got to change your life, especially if you go from working and having a lot of money to having no money. And yeah, that's a big part of it too. You can't even do the things you want to do or would do a lot of times, So, well.
That's what I realized. Money had been a big part of my issues in the past. I didn't realize my relationship with money was unhealthy. Many people today have unhealthy relationships with money. We give it a lot more power than it really is. And we give people with money a lot more power in our minds than they actually do. My life, hey, I made every choice I made based upon what I knew, what I had learned at that time. But since 2018, it was December 30th of 2018. That's where I realized I may have achieved my goal of a practice of staying present without effort, constant meditative state, or at least a level of it. And I've been practicing staying present, staying in love ever since.
So we use the staying present. Is that mostly just staying away from liquor? Drinking,
No.
or like drinking, or is it just like just being happy or feeling love or feeling enjoyment in your life?
It's staying aligned with life. I live only now. So whatever period, whatever I'm doing, whatever set of period of time in my day, like right now, my purpose is the live stream.
Mhm.
So I'm not worried about what I'm doing later. I'm not worried about what's going on elsewhere. This is my purpose. When I'm done with this, I'll go to the next purpose and I'll be present with that. Being present means being here and now, paying attention.
Mhm.
Because, hand banana, I know how it sounds, but if people can believe what I'm saying, Chuck was here trying to paint me bad again. I believe that
You is not Jesus.
he's talking about me, claiming I think I'm the second coming. What I've said is my life is very similar to every other's. My life also has many similarities to several different stories in the Bible. My goal is to invite others to join with me so that it is we who are embodying the Spirit of Christ, where we are the return of Jesus. It's what the messages were supposed to mean. God is revealing the answers. What we pay attention to is up to each of us.
Do you read the Bible, like the Old Testament or the New Testament?
I continue my study. I listen to different pastors, different ministers. I listen to different biblical scholars.
Do you read like the book
Yes.
though? Like I have a Bible somewhere around here. Like the actual book, do you just crack it open and read it? Did you start with the Old Testament?
I've read much, and I still go back to I found the Passion interpretation. It's another interpretation of the Bible.
That movie was rough, dude. That movie, dude, yeah.
Well, it's not the movie, but the
No, I was thinking of the Passion Christ thing.
It's along those lines. It's very
the story from the Bible.
Well, I devoted myself to learning God, to understanding God. We all know God, whether we realize it or not, whether we accept it or not, because God is the power, the energy, the infinite intelligence that allows us to know today.
But do you think God loves you?
Yes, I'm convinced. And as a matter of fact, that's one of the things I encourage people to do is spend time considering all of the evidence that shows God loves you.
I think when I was when I've been reading the book so far, a lot of it seems like it's more like you better love God or else. So much so that Jesus came down here and was like, you better love my Father God or else he's going to just delete all of you again. Something like that.
That's part of the misinterpretation. the religions got corrupted, just like the Bible foretold. It said that the religions and churches would be corrupted. So the way that Jesus taught is the way that we're designed. When we choose to be sinful, when we choose to stray from love, when we choose to carry unforgiveness, when we choose to carry hate and fear, that just hurts ourselves.
But
It's the
those
only
are
thing-
Jesus's beliefs, right?
Well-
They're not necessarily like God's teachings. It's just Jesus's beliefs, I think.
You can call it whatever you want, to be honest. Here, we've got someone joining.
Ooh.
Let me see.
New
No
friend.
reflection, but Shell?
Hey, Hand Banana, stop talking to little kids, you weirdo. That's not very
Never.
godly of you.
Never.
That's not very godly of you to speak sexually to little kids.
I'm gonna be on Monkey all day. They get mad because I go on Monkey. The thing I told you could talk to women all day.
You know, I actually
It's for adults,
that up.
mind you. It is for 18 plus.
Hey, let's do something here. Chuck, why don't you hit the link, buddy?
You
can
tell
try
me. God told me to call out false Ooh.
Chuck wants to repeatedly, publicly be a false witness against me.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to present the case that I am a false prophet.
This will be interesting. I do want Chuck, get up here. I want to hear this.
Oh,
Tell me
here-
how he's Jesus.
Even
Tell me
here.
how he's.
No, he's convinced I'm not, but he makes the claim that I say I am. So he's misrepresenting me. Here is another one. And again, Hand Banana, blessings to you. Here in the present moment, you're part of this experience I'm living. And my purpose is to find a way to end wars. And part of my story, I've mentioned, I've faced a lot of false accusations.
Hmm.
A lot of people who want to misrepresent me and mischaracterize me.
Oh, what that guy said about me was semi-true. I told some kids like some pretty horrible shit when they popped up on Monkey. I was like, fuck you kids or whatever. I was like saying all kinds of like, God beat you up and jizz on you. Some girl, I was like, do you squirt? Do you know what that is? And I just started just defining it to him. I was just, but she wasn't on camera. She wasn't on camera. It was like it was just a voice. It was a lot of crazy shit.
Tell you what, yeah, it sounds inappropriate.
Oh, it was very.
Okay, so here, back to the present.
That's why they're mad at me.
Back
Anyway.
Well, I'd encourage you to rethink your choices.
Well, yeah, I haven't. I've just been hitting skip now, but they're still bitches about it. So whatever. Yeah, I don't even talk to them. I'll just be like skip or report them. Be like, you're not supposed to be on the app, so you can.
All right. So can we come back to this present, please?
All right. My bad. I'm smoking.
Trying to
get
say.
distracted.
Well, what I'm asking you to do is please be present. Okay, because there's an opportunity to maybe clear some air. Welcome.
Oh,
Miss
I'm here to clear the air. You got that right. Hi, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Hi,
What are you here to bring?
Jack, I got an SOS. I was resting as I recover. I got an SOS message that said that you had broadcasted that you have choked people in the past.
He used to be a soldier.
So, Banana, did you hear him say that by chance?
I don't answer questions.
Oh, okay.
You got Jack.
Jack, when we were on Tommy's, I forget what day it was. Oh, Sunday. It was Sunday. You had stated that you have never harmed anyone, but now you're saying that you've choked people.
So what is your question?
Were you lying then or are you lying now is what she's asking.
I tell you, that's holy timing. I just dropped in rando and
Right.
shown me more perfect
Hi,
time.
Tommy.
Sister in Christ, I believe.
Tommy, did you hear Jack say on his channel today that he has choked people?
Davey, do you want to understand, or do you want to just claim some sort of fucking victory again?
I think everyone you're mad at is very much trying to understand, and it makes you mad.
Well, here, how about take my
Here.
word in the context?
I don't take your word, you're a liar.
Why are you here?
Because obviously it's holy timing.
What are you bringing?
Jack,
I'm
just
looking to
admit that you have harmed
understand that.
people in the past.
No, Margot, here.
Choking is not harming.
Hello, Margot, shut up. You're so set on achieving a victory.
No,
Margot,
Jack, if you say you're not a
Margot, I've admitted my life. I used to fight. I used to get into a lot of fights. I had a big mouth. And then I became a better man. So, Margot, I have never harmed anyone. Yes, when I was young, there was some minor physical scuffles. I don't think anyone even, I don't think anyone even ever got knocked out. Okay, no one put in the hospital, no one wounded. And the allegations you want to raise against me have been vicious, filled with malice, and completely untrue.
Jack,
So the record has been cleared.
Oh, you're doing that Sherelle thing where you don't let anybody talk. You spout your bullshit and said, "I'm glad I could set the record straight."
How many times do I have to sit here and listen to you fucking lie about me? You and
You're the
Margot.
liar. I dare you to
Go away. Go away.
Bring Margot back. She was fine. She just
Was
was
she?
over talking. Yeah, she
Was she
was
fine?
just over talking, but she was all right.
Really? Was she?
Yeah, she didn't seem too bad.
Really?
I mean, she was mean to you. She was
Right.
mean to me.
Right.
She was nice to me,
Why don't
though.
you care? Why don't you care about what is happening in front of you?
What do you mean that they're like accusing you of things? That's how
Yeah.
YouTube. That's
Right. You are a part. You know what? I don't mean to be disrespectful, but the back of the stage is starting to crawl with these attention-seeking trolls. And Hand Banana, you're missing the opportunity. You are missing the opportunity to discover what is right in front of you. You want to make excuses that this is online and this is what people do? Not in my life. I'm not continuing this. Tom, I'm going to give you one last chance.
It's not you that gives the chances. You're wanting the chances.
No,
now, I'm not a troll.
I am. Chill
I'm
out.
not a troll.
Well,
I'm not a internet character.
You're not in support of me.
Because you got issues and
no, I have God. You've got issues, Tom. You've got issues just like Snafu's got issues, just like Margot's got issues, just like Paul's got issues. Your issues are not my problem. Brothers and sisters, what do I do? All right, so Nude Guru, I have still in the back Hand Banana, Tom, Snafu, and Margot Davy. Where's this willing that I'm supposed to go to? I said I went to the Veterans for Peace. Just like on these panels, it seems like no one really seems to care about what I'm saying, what I'm doing. I don't get it. Praise God, man. Praise God. And Chuck, the fact that you cannot see that I am a man of God, it's fascinating to me. Really fascinating. All right. Well, that answers my question. I'm not going to entertain you folks in the back. So I appreciate you stopping by. Hey, Tyler, I don't know your face or name either, but don't assume. I assure you that. Don't assume. I just want people who care to learn and understand what I'm saying. I really do. Because what I'm saying could benefit you. It could benefit everyone you know if you simply practice more gratitude, acknowledging the good that you already have in your life. It is the foundation for all abundance. If you want more, you must realize what you've got. And the best way to realize what you've received is to be generous, to be willing to give. If you're not willing to give goodness, where are you going to receive it? And despite the opinions, despite the rumors, I continue to offer opportunities for people to find peace. And here, I am going to wrap this up, but a topic I may go into more tomorrow is the idea of a friend. See, what is a friend truly? I know that's who I am. I am a good friend. God is my best friend. God is your best friend. So what does a best friend do? What would a friend do? Well, a friend will actually change your life. But if you're not willing to allow your life to change, well, you're not going to find any time for a friend. And the friend that you want to make time for, the friend that I found time for, and I'm so grateful that I did, is God. Find time for God and realize God is your best friend. And frankly, if you allow me into your life, I'm a pretty good friend. I'm pretty encouraging. I'm pretty inspiring, supportive. I'm very generous with what I'm allowed to receive. But I don't want to share the bitterness. I don't want to share the arguments. And for those who just want to bring your battles and try to prove that you're better than a man like me, go find a greater purpose for your life. Because my purpose is greater than just defending myself against the foolish opinions of the likes of Miss Margot Davy, professional counselor, educator, professional clown, and her partner, Snafu Snaps. Holy cows, man, holy cows. This is my life. Brothers and sisters, thank you for joining my life today. Today, this Thursday in the Talcottian adventure. Thank you again for all who found your way on the panel, who may tune in at a later time, whatever way, whatever form. Please watch in the future. See if you can invite others to join, share a like, do the subscription, whatever it is you want. But a better world, a world without wars. It's waiting for you to know. Resolve the conflicts within yourself by a focus on what you have, what you have that is good. Grow the good, share the good, and life becomes more good. It's all about that. We'll get into it more in the future. Thank you again, sincerely. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all.